Are you Lacey? Sue. Okay.
Are you Lacey? Sue. Okay. Sue. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Lacey's the name they had in the
This
complaint.
gentleman came in with cameras and everything. They've been through our waiting room. They're telling us we're Jason and Ben. It's a public space. We're entitled to be here. Blah, 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 blah. They went into our space where we have clients, confidentiality-wise. Wanted to know. Yeah.
Is it locked?
No, it's open,
No, it
but
was
it's more so
open.
just like.
Hello.
Camera space of like, what are we doing? What's your purpose?
We
But they're going
can't.
up to the health department as well.
Okay.
Which we had said, great. Go.
Whatever's open is open.
Sure.
No, that's not correct.
Really do
Doing
Even
anything.
with the filming piece of that.
Correct. If it's
If you leave your garage door open, does it mean anybody can walk in? These cops are useless. Usually when you see useless cops, you're talking about cops who are on the take. That's been my experience. And I'm a former Leo.
if it's a secured portion, they obviously aren't going to be able to get into it.
Right.
Just to be clear, I'm not interested in going to any restricted areas. I'm not interested in going to anybody's private office.
And that is a lie. That is simply a lie.
I respect keyed access,
No, historically speaking, no, he does not.
signs, all that kind of stuff. We're just looking to go into the publicly accessible areas of the building and take a look at the building.
But yeah,
And one
it's
thing that I did share, because totally different situation, but with the filming piece, we've been asked for our programs, would you give an interview or blah, blah, something like that? And so county policy is we cannot be interviewed for something, you know what I mean? So I don't know what their intention or purpose is. I know that goes above and beyond maybe like
it's
in
First
this
Amendment
moment.
stuff. That's what they do is they run around with their cameras and try to get us to do things that we can't do, like
Sure.
physically remove them. We can't do it.
Okay. And obviously then I've told them that this is confidentiality. We can't have this. We should have a waiver. It's our clients. So, all right.
Actually, the cops can remove them for crying out loud. And it's not First Amendment, it's harassment, it's disturbance of the peace, it's violation of confidentiality. These cops are worthless. What can I say?
More so the filming piece, I think, is what, like the way they present that. Yeah.
Okay.
So
So even in that public space. Yeah.
public is public.
Right. Sure. Yeah.
Obviously, behind closed doors in offices, where they're not needed. I'm guessing he's getting the same.
Okay, first of all, failure is not an option. Using the police is not an option. You're going to have to come up with something else. And that's on you, police. You're not enforcing the law. You're not helping anybody. You're not securing anything. Yeah, people say defund the police. Yeah, of course. Why not?
Upstairs.
No, but we better call them and tell them.
I would probably head that way and call and.
Do you want me to? Do you need me at all?
I
I'm
don't
listening. I'm
believe
on
so.
second floor.
Okay,
so
I don't believe so, but yeah,
One of
just
my
let
key
people
will
know
open.
whatever's open to the public's open to the public, and you can ask them to leave. Yeah.
So it's more so.
Yeah.
They were asked to leave. They were told to leave again and again and again. And yes, they have that right to ask people to leave, because they're here. First of all, Amagansett Press and his son Pigpen, they were not here to utilize the services. Other people were. I mean, negotiating with the cop is not an option, okay? Let's just say the cops are no longer an option.
Yeah.
It's not that
Yeah.
loud. Thanks.
Yep.
Thanks for what? Nothing? Thank you. Nope.
Well, a lot of times they need to hear it from somebody in a position of authority. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you?
Doing well, thank you.
I guess what's the?
Well, we just ran
Recording in public spaces.
Okay. Sounds good.
That's all we're doing. And can I just ask your name and badge number so I know who's here, so who I talk to?
Officer Andrews,
Andrew?
Yep.
And your badge number, sir?
677.
67.
Okay, if you can record in public spaces, how come you're not recording at a public school? Duh.
And I just really want to commend you, gentlemen, on acting professional, being courteous, showing up, getting
They were anything but professional. Okay?
the entire situation from both sides, and making a proper decision and upholding my right to
Respectful.
Yep.
Oh, I'm talking to everybody just the way I'm talking to you. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm assuming you let Sue know that what we're doing is okay?
Thank you,
Have a good
perpetrator.
day.
That's a dirty cop. That cop is on the take.
A viral video and a case of mistaken identity now resulting in threats against one area county health director. Thanks for sticking with us tonight. I'm Brad Hansen. Now that health director and Wood County are pushing back. News 9's Isaac Dinesen has the reaction.
All this surfacing within the last week after a YouTube channel with a large audience claimed Sue Smith violated their right to film in a public space.
Yeah, I'm calling to report a festering disease, a cancer on our Constitution named Sue Smith.
That message went to Sue's voicemail, and she has received many more messages, some threatening her life.
Since Friday night, even today, I'm still getting emails and voicemails and things from people from across the country who think I'm, I guess, the evilest person on earth.
This all came about after a video from a YouTube channel called Amagansett Press, where the creators claim to conduct what they call a First Amendment audit, filming public spaces in the Riverblock building in Wisconsin Rapids. That video now has more than 150,000 views.
That our employees basically did the right thing, and that is in today's world of workplace violence, they questioned somebody who came in that acted or looked somewhat strange. They contacted the proper authorities.
A mix-up came when an employee who identified themselves as Sue told them they couldn't film in a waiting room without a waiver.
It's a very vulnerable population, and some of those people, when you get into waiting rooms for clinic time, are people that should not be filmed.
The video's title mislabeled this Sue as the county's health director.
You wouldn't even tell me what your position here is.
Why should I?
You wouldn't even tell me what your position here is.
Why should I?
Which is not true.
It's been so detrimental to my reputation, and I'm not sure how I'm going to repair that. I've been in public service for 27 years now, and I've never experienced anything like this in my life.
Signs have since been placed in the building on what is and is not a public area. But for the misrepresentation, Smith says she's staying strong.
I gotta let it go, and I'm still gonna try to get them to fix it, to correct it. I would like an apology from
Not
them
gonna happen.
if I can ever figure out how to contact them.
We have reached out to the creators of the original video. They have not yet responded. In the newsroom, Isaac Dinesen, News 9 WAOW.
And now we have another cop, but this one's a little different.
5487, I know you just asked me.
Yes, sir.
All right, so it's the Attorney General's opinion, and there is case law to back that up, that you can't show up on public property, such as this, and harass civilian population and harass its workers.
Who did I harass?
You can't limit access of EMS or government employees.
I've never done that.
A lot of it's recorded on your own videos.
With me limiting them?
Absolutely.
How did I
Yes, sir.
do that?
You can go back and watch.
I will.
And
I've
there are
never
some-
blocked
there are
anybody.
Some things that have been edited, and some things that are.
I've got every bit of it.
Well, then go back and watch it all.
I
and feel free
will.
to
I've
post
never
it to
gotten
the
in anybody's way.
So I want to go over some of this stuff with you, and I will give you this copy so you have it. Okay?
Sure.
Now, what he's doing is a very good thing. He's going to go over it with you, and then he's going to give them the copy. So when somebody wants a copy of something, and you're going to go through the trouble of printing them a copy, that's fine. But before you hand it over to them, go over it with them. And that's what this guy is. Now, this guy's actually very professional. Okay? He's actually with the sheriff's office. He's a fugitive recovery. This guy's very professional. He printed up a copy for you. This is going to be your copy. But before he hands it to you, he's going to go over a few things. That is very professional. Now, if all our law enforcement officers were like him, then I would recant my statement of defund the police.
Government's ownership of property does not automatically open that property to the public. That's United States versus, I believe that's Kokendo.
Mm-hmm.
The First Amendment does not create a general right of access to governmental property. That's there's an example put in there by Hutchins and versus.
I wasn't accessing the property for First Amendment, but okay.
There's other areas in here that are highlighted.
What's your name, sir?
Price.
Price?
Yes, sir.
Your badge number?
Either one.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
You're fine.
Typical foreigner acts all tough, screaming insults and profanities to officers from afar But the minute they're up close, he's sweet as honey.
So when you go in there and you cuss,
And I apologize to those ladies, and I hadn't done it since inside.
when you go in there and you do that, and it places them in fear, and they have a fear of coming out here and walking to their own vehicle. That wasn't aired on your video that I
wasn't even here when they left.
No, I'm talking about when you went in there and you cussed those ladies.
And I apologize to them, and they all accepted it too. I made sure to
I don't
apologize
think-
to every one of them.
I'm not here to argue with
Well,
you. sir.
I'm just telling
I'm just telling you. You asked the reason why this is important.
Sure. But you can't use First Amendment protected speech. You can't use somebody's civil rights as a crime.
I thought you said a second ago that this wasn't First Amendment.
No, I said I didn't go in there for the First Amendment.
Okay.
You're saying I'm getting kicked off for using the First Amendment.
No. Who said that?
You did. You're saying I'm being
Well, I'm
removed for
giving you-
using language.
I'm giving you examples.
I don't know what you're giving me.
What I've also told you is it's the Attorney General's opinion that you cannot harass, place in fear employees of this business, all right, officers, or the civilian workers that work in records or dispatch.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Or can you limit the access
So-
of government people?
So what if
Including
one of your
EMS.
guys off the clock comes to my house to harass me? Irrelevant. Then what?
I'm not doing it.
I figured. So it's okay for him to do
You've
it.
already filed a complaint on us.
Oh yeah, I went and filed prosecution against him today.
Okay. So it's my understanding that you filed a complaint on that.
I filed private prosecution today in Bristol.
Handled and addressed by the Attorney.
Yeah, if you want to call it that.
That's on the
You didn't do anything that I asked them to look into. Not one thing. I didn't say you personally, but I'm just you in general, as in the police.
You said you.
Well, I was using that. I know I was using that as a general term.
It goes on to say evidence was sufficient to support that this is another State versus Butte. Conviction of disorderly conduct under Tennessee Code annotated because it showed that the defendant, the mother of a student, used profanity in a raised voice to address a student in the middle school assistant principal's office. All right, just like a second ago, when you were making those comments about
Golly, what's your name, sir? And your badge? And your badge number?
Officer Caleb.
Badge number? Your badge number? It's part of your policy, sir.
No, it's not.
And your name was, sir? Okay, sir.
Okay, it is not policy to identify yourself. Okay, they're wearing uniforms. They got badges. We got undercover cops. Like I said, I used to be a Leo, and it's your policy to identify yourself on demand. No, it's not.
So, just like a second ago, when you were making those derogatory comments about women.
Notice the derogatory comments were not in his videos. Jason Gutterman and his son Pigpen do the same thing. They edit their videos. If they're in the wrong, that's going to be edited out. In a previous video I did, you'll notice that Jason is crying like a baby, begging the cops. He didn't include that in his video.
All right.
About women.
Yeah, when you were saying F your mom and all that.
Okay,
you know,
yeah.
So, I mean, what if there's little kids and we don't
I don't
condone
care.
that kind of stuff in
I don't
our
care.
parking lot?
There was kids at my house when that motherfucker came by my house and blowed his horn to harass my family. I have kids that were there. Do y'all give two about that?
Would you like this copy of this stuff?
No, sir.
You don't want it?
No, sir. I don't need that.
All right. Well, it explains everything.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to ask you, where's your car parked, sir?
It's not parked on this property.
So it's not on this property.
No, sir.
And you understand that the Justice Center is also part of this property.
Yes, sir, I do. You understand I'm in a public easement right now, right, sir?
You're in right.
Yeah.
So, but anyways.
And that is a street, too, that goes in between these two
With that
buildings.
being said, all right, so effective when Lieutenant McCready told you that. I know he told you a vague portion of this. I wanted to bring you all the copies and explain to you a little bit more in depth.
Okay.
All right, but effective immediately. We'll say right now.
Okay.
It's June 2nd, 2022 at 1626.
Uh-huh.
If you were caught back on this property, you understand that you can't be charged with criminal trespass.
Oh, yes, I understand the rules. I understand the law. Yeah, I understand it.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I understand the law. That's why I walked out here when you told me to leave. Right? Oh, okay.
You
Yeah.
have a solid understanding. I
No, I know what the law is.
That you're not allowed to be back on that property.
This guy is very professional. He's explaining everything. He offered him a copy. Of course, the frauder doesn't care. All right? But he did explain everything. Sounds like he went to the same police academy I went to. Good job on this guy.
Yeah.
And you asked for a reason why earlier, and so I'm giving it.
Well, you told me, that's why I
Well, I
left.
didn't tell you earlier. That was Lieutenant McCree.
Well, you just said I was banned, so I didn't want to listen
I
to
didn't tell you that earlier.
Yeah, he just said I was banned, so I didn't want to listen to the reasons why you came up with it. So I'm sure y'all can justify anything when you want to.
It's not reasons why, sir. It's,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Attorney General opinion, and then it's also...
Well, it's his opinion that you're using.
Yeah.
For your
It's
situation.
also case law.
Yeah. Well, there's also case law that says I can go in that lobby and cuss too. So
No, I'd like to see that. Go ahead and cite that case law. You can't. Okay. He cited case law. All right. And those of you who've been to law school, and actually I have, you'll find out that no matter how clearly written the law is, it's always subject to debate.
We condone bad cops.
yeah.
So,
Well, that's good. I hope none of you
that's the
do.
point.
And I'm not.
You're saying you have a civil suit going on, so...
I didn't say I had a civil suit.
What-
So you don't pay attention. Private prosecution. That's not a lawsuit. It means I'm privately taking him to court. I'm pressing charges on him privately.
Well, I interpreted that as a
It's not a lawsuit. I'm not taking his money. I want his bond.
You filed your own charges through Sessions Court.
I want his bond. Yes, sir. But I don't know. The DA hadn't told me whether they accepted yet. I just turned them in today. So y'all can go and let them call and let them know. See if you can't manipulate it that way.
Okay, this cop, we would probably call him an exit wound. He's a clean cop. We might even call him a Serpico, but he comes across as a very clean cop. You start to sniff him out after a while. You know, when you've been a Leo, you can tell the difference between a dirty cop and a clean cop. This one seems exceptionally clean. So we would call him a Serpico or an exit wound.
Yeah, yeah, that's how it's right.
I'm sure you don't want this cop.
No, I don't need that.
You have a good day, all right?
Cohan versus California. Look it up.
Have a blessed day.
Yeah, you too, baby. Yeah, y'all be safe. Seriously. I don't just hate people. I really don't. I just want the injustice that's been done to my family to be done right. And you all ain't f***ing done it. And you're just making yourselves look worse. By banning me from the property, how does that make you look?
And now that the officers are walking away, suddenly their auditor becomes badass again.
I know, you all don't ever give a shit, because y'all all pieces of shit. Yeah, well, don't piss down my back and tell me it's raining. I said, don't piss down my back and tell me it's raining. He had to get in another comment. He pointed up to the sky and said, you better go get an umbrella, looks like it's gonna rain. Yeah, like I said before, go f*** yourself. Alright guys, well, what do you think about that crap? Banned from the property. Banned from Sullivan County Justice Center property.
Well, besides the fact I think you totally deserved it, I also think you're a coward, a foul-mouthed fool, a failed auditor, and a moron. But I'm guessing that wasn't the kind of answer you were looking for.
Well. Tried to say that I was scaring the ladies inside the front because I was cussing. Although I have been back several times since then and nothing was said any of those times. Ain't it kind of funny how that works?
It's very funny how it works, actually. Although you've been back several times in the past, you're now banned and you won't be coming back again. It's hysterical.
Oh well. So I went to Bristol, Virginia, or Bristol, Tennessee, rather, this morning, and went to the clerk's office and filed an affidavit of complaint to file for private prosecution against Brian Knapp for menacing, stalking, and official misconduct. So let's see if the DA takes it.
I'm waiting with bated breath to see how that one turns out. I'll hardly be able to sleep.
But until then, you guys try and keep them.
Well, another 4-minute video bites the dust.